Zosia's magical melody. Have you ever felt so anxious that you couldn't get out of bed? That's exactly how the morning was for Zosia, a little singer who had just started school. Every morning, when her mother called her to school, Zosia felt as if thousands of butterflies were living in her stomach. Zosia loved to sing. She had a beautiful voice that resonated throughout the house whenever she started humming her favorite songs. But now, with school starting, everything seemed harder. Every morning, she struggled to get dressed, and when something important was happening at school, she became very emotional. On her first day at school, Zosia felt overwhelmed. She had a lot of homework, and her handwriting wasn't as neat as she'd like. "Why aren't my letters pretty?" Zosia wondered, looking at her notebooks. In class, there were many children who seemed to be doing better than she was. Every day, when the teacher handed out homework, Zosia felt her heart beat faster. "What if I don't do it right again?" she thought. One afternoon, when Zosia returned home after a tough day at school, she sat on her bed and began to cry. Her mom, seeing her sadness, sat next to her and hugged her tightly. "Zosia, I know school can be tough, but you're very brave. Maybe there's something that could help you," her mom asked. Zosia looked at her mom through tears. "I don't know, Mom. I wish everything was easier." Then her mom smiled mysteriously. "You know, when I was your age, I had something that helped me. It was a magical melody. When I sang it, I felt stronger and more confident." Zosia looked at her mom with curiosity. "A magical melody? How does it work?" Her mom took Zosia by the hand and led her to an old wardrobe in their bedroom. She opened the doors and pulled out an old, dusty notebook. "This is the notebook with the melodies I sang when I was younger. Maybe you'll find something here that can help you." Zosia opened the notebook and began to browse the pages. On one of them, she found a melody titled "Melody of Courage." Without hesitation, she began to sing it. The melody was simple, but it had something magical about it. Zosia felt her heart beat more calmly, and her mind became clear. A new day, new challenges. The next morning, when Zosia woke up, she felt a little better. She remembered the melody and started humming it as she dressed for school. To her surprise, getting dressed was easier, and her nerves were lessened. At school, when the teacher handed out homework, Zosia felt her heart start to beat faster. But then she remembered the melody and began to hum it quietly to herself. She felt her hands become steadier, and her handwriting became neater. The day was approaching when Zosia was to perform in front of the entire class. She was going to sing a song she had written herself. She was very nervous, but she knew the magical melody would help her. When the day of the performance came, Zosia stood in front of the class and felt her heart pounding like crazy. But then she began to hum the melody of courage. She felt her nerves disappear and her voice became stronger. She sang her song with such feeling that the whole class was enchanted. The teacher approached her after the performance and said, "Zosia, that was amazing. You have a talent that should be developed." When Zosia returned home, she felt like a new person. She knew that thanks to the magical melody, she could overcome all difficulties. Every morning, when she felt anxious, she hummed the melody and felt stronger. Zosia learned that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she could always find the strength within herself to overcome them. Thanks to the magical melody, her life became easier, and she herself became more confident. Zosia realized that everyone has something within them that can help in difficult times. For her, it was the magical melody, but for others, it might be something else. It's important to find what gives us strength and courage. Do you have something that helps you in tough moments? It could be a favorite song, a book, or even a conversation with someone close. Remember, you can always find the strength within yourself to overcome any difficulties. Zosia returned to school with newfound confidence. Every day, when she felt anxious, she remembered the magical melody and hummed it quietly to herself. Thanks to this, her days became brighter, and she herself became stronger. And so, thanks to the magical melody, Zosia learned to manage her emotions and face challenges. And you? Have you found your magical melody yet?